What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Wednesday. I hope that everyone is enjoying their lovely day. But anywho, let's get into the hot topics. Now let's talk about A$AP Rocky. So A$AP Rocky was found not guilty in his felony assault trial. Okay, so on Tuesday, February 18, the jury acquitted the rapper who was accused of firing a semi-automatic handgun at his former friend and A$AP mob member, A$AP Rocky, in an altercation in November of 2021 of two charges of felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Okay, so before the verdict was announced at Los Angeles' Clara Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Center, each jury member agreed the outcome was their individual true and correct verdict. So after the first verdict was read, Rocky immediately jumped over the stand to hug his mother, sister, and partner Rihanna. He also told the jury, "Thank y'all for saving my life. Thank y'all for making the right decision." So the judge also thanked the jury for their time. "We cannot have jury trials without folks like you." Rihanna also expressed gratitude following Rocky's acquittal, writing on her Instagram stories, "The glory belongs to God and God alone." So thankful, humbled by his mercy, she added with the praying hands emoji. Okay, so on Friday, February 14, the defense and prosecution concluded their closing statements, and District Attorney John Lewin asked the jury not to be swayed by Rihanna's presence in the court. Alright, so anywho, in opening statements, Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, claimed the rapper was carrying a prop gun in the case of potential threats. For Relly, it was never about justice. It's about a man seeking a profit from a fabricated narrative. Tacopina said, "Rocky has nothing to hide here." So meanwhile, the prosecution team recounted the events leading up to the altercation, claiming that Relly showed up thinking they would just argue and it would repair their relationship. Alright, so this is not a complicated case. Prizzolo Mike said in his opening statement, the defense will turn in an alternative explanation to what happened that night. "We ask that you do not leave your common sense at the door." Alright, so during closing statements, which began on February 13, the prosecution claimed that the gun was a prop gun, illogical, and absurd. So meanwhile, the defense told the jury there was inconsistencies in Relly's story and he lied to your faces. Alright, so everything that doesn't come from Relly shows you that this is not a real gun, he said. Okay, so this is really insane. This is what definitely saved A$AP Rocky's life here, because the fact that A$AP Rocky was carrying a prop gun, to me, is actually very innocent, because it was just a prop gun. It wasn't an actual gun, and it wasn't a gun that had any bullets especially. Now, I think that Relly was trying to screw up A$AP Rocky, because I believe that since Relly and A$AP Rocky were having a little enemy relationship, he basically wanted to see A$AP Rocky behind bars, and Relly wanted to laugh at him, and Relly wanted to be, you know, the type of person that would talk more smack about him while behind bars. And let's remember that, you know, unfortunately for Relly, since none of that happened, now Relly is really pissed about that. And I'm actually happy that Relly's plans to basically put A$AP Rocky's life behind bars was actually coming to a fail, because I believe that it was very malicious and it was very weird and very ridiculous that this guy would try to ruin A$AP Rocky's life. And I think that it was also very evil at the same time, because let's remember that A$AP Rocky, not only is he the fiance of Rihanna, but also he is the father of the two kids that he has with Rihanna, and these two kids need not only Rihanna but also A$AP Rocky. But here's the thing though, Relly really is an idiot in the first place for even getting into a horrible altercation with A$AP Rocky in the first place. I feel like Relly should have been like, you know what, let's keep it peaceful, let's not start, and the end. And you know, I feel like as mature adults, there should have not been a situation like this to begin with as well. So in my opinion here, I am seeing that A$AP Rocky really knew that he had a lot more to win than to lose in the first place, because even A$AP Rocky had in his own confidence, along with his own lawyer, that it was just a prop gun and that there was nothing criminal going on in this case from A$AP Rocky's part. And you know that at the end of the day, I mean, everybody even knows, and they will know, that there was no evidence of any kill, there was no evidence of any blood, there was no evidence of any injuries going on from A$AP Rocky's part, because at the end of the day, there was just a prop gun being involved in the case, and that's it. So anywho, this right here was definitely a big win for A$AP Rocky. I am happy for A$AP Rocky that he was found not guilty. Congratulations to him, and also congratulations to Rihanna. All right, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about LeVar Ball. So LeVar Ball, the father of basketball stars Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo Ball, had his foot amputated after suffering a serious medical issue, TMZ Sports has learned. So we're told the Ball family patriarch underwent a recent procedure to have his right foot removed, but despite it all, he is in great spirits and doing well. So LeVar made a name for himself with his grandiose plans for his sons. He created the Big Baller brand, which developed signature shoes for all three hoopers. LeVar made countless headlines for his bold declarations about his kids, but has received praise following their success. Zoe and Melo are stars in the association, and Jello's music career is taking off. So he has distanced himself from the spotlight in recent years, but has continued to be his son's biggest fan from afar. LeVar was a college sports star in his own right. He played at Cal State Los Angeles and spent time with the New York Jets and Carolina Panthers organizations. So the Ball brothers have not yet spoken about their father's health publicly. Okay, so this is really insane. I think that this guy really is going to suffer now that he no longer has a foot, because I can't imagine all of the pain, all of the misery it is having to lose a foot. And honestly, I feel so bad for LeVar Ball, and I feel so bad for the Ball brothers especially, because it really must be very sad having to know that your own parent lost their own foot and that they're no longer able to walk well anymore. And I think that LeVar Ball, yes, he's going to be able to survive because, of course, he got rid of the disease that was going on in his foot since it got amputated. But it's going to really take some time for this guy to be getting adapted to this. And now, it's really sad that this guy has distanced himself from the spotlight because, we all were praising this guy. We all were looking up to this guy for his, successful things, for his, pro sport things that he was doing in the basketball business. And, he was a champ after all, along with his sons. And I can imagine that, Lonzo Ball, LiAngelo Ball, and of course the other brother are going to take care of their father, because I know that they really care about their father after all. And they really are about that family connection after all. I can definitely tell because they really seem united and they really seem like they are looking out for one another after all. They are all very tall, by the way, especially Lonzo Ball, man. I mean, Lonzo Ball is my age, and man, he looks like he is maybe 10 years older than me, since he is way taller than me. But the guy, though, is really handsome. The guy is really good looking. The guy is really successful. And he is very tough, too. He's very strong. He got those muscles in, And Lonzo Ball, by the way, he was like making a cameo on Fuller House one time, I remember. So that's another thing. So, anywho, I would love to meet Alonzo Ball, and I would love to meet the Ball brothers, especially LeVar Ball, one day. That would be amazing. By the way, Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo, they are all really good basketball players. They all have scored highly in the basketball team. They have all really been out there, out and about. But Anyways, we have been hearing more from them than we have from LeVar Ball because of the situation that LeVar Ball, like I said, got to distance himself from the basketball business. And I have never even known what Lonzo Ball's father's name was because of the fact that he's been away from the spotlight anyways. And also because I'm not really into basketball, so there's also that. But anyways, I really do send my heart, I send my prayers, I send all of the healing towards LeVar Ball, and I send my prayers to Lonzo, Leangelo, and LaMelo as well. Y'all got this. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are champs. Y'all got this. Okay, now on to the next topic. So as we all know, unfortunately, actress Kim Se-ron passed away. Well, the cause of her death has been revealed. So Kim Se-ron's cause of death has been revealed. The young actress has tragically died by suicide. So according to Yonhap news agency, Korean police say Kim, who was only 24, was found dead at her home in Seoul on Sunday. At her death is being ruled as a suicide. So anyways, the news agency says a police official stated, "We believe she made an extreme choice and planned to handle it as a suicide." Now, the Korean news outlet also notes Kim did not leave a suicide note behind. Kim was discovered by a friend who visited her home, saw her deceased, and called the police, according to reports. So she was a rising star in South Korea due to breakout roles in films like The Man from Nowhere and The Neighbor. So Kim's career took an unfortunate turn in 2022 after a drunk driving accident where she was reportedly fined around $13,800. From then on, Kim had trouble landing new roles. So this is really insane. Poor girl. I can imagine that could have been the reason to why she committed suicide, but I think that she should have sought a lot of therapy in order to help her own emotions, because committing suicide is not the answer, ladies and gentlemen. It is not. I think that she still had a whole entire life ahead of her, and she had a whole entire career ahead of her, and she should have looked at the positives as well as to what could have happened if she was still alive, you know? And it's really insane, by the way, that she was only 24 years old when she committed suicide. And she was, I believe, pressured by so many people that were bullying her, I believe, who knows, which might have encouraged her to commit suicide. And of course, she was rethinking the past on when she got into trouble with the law. And she, of course, was thinking so much about many other things that God knows what else happened to her, which is what also caused her to commit suicide. We never know what goes on with these people's lives, ladies and gentlemen. We just sit here and assume that their lives are perfect and that they're whatever, but in reality, these people could be going through a lot, and it's because we don't go off and ask them how they've been. We don't go off and talk to them and care for them. And that's something that we should do, ladies and gentlemen. We should talk to them and care for them. But as for Kim, though, Kim had a huge fan base. I'm sure the fan base was already worried about the fact that they were like, oh my God, well, what happened to Kim? Why is Kim behaving so weird? Why is Kim away from social media? Because I'm sure she was also away from social media. And they were like, oh my God, well, is there something we can do for poor Kim? And I don't know where the parents were at. I don't know where the siblings were at, if she has siblings. But I feel like they should have been by her side because of the fact that she was suicidal. And if they were to be by her side, trust me, I'm sure that this whole entire situation would have been prevented. So it's really scary, man, just having to hear something like this. And it's very sad, ladies and gentlemen. I do send a lot of healing, a lot of prayers to her and to her family and to the fan base that really looked up to her. I just can't imagine, man, how heartbroken the family is right now, having to learn that Kim is now gone. And you know what? This is a really good example out there that you need help and you need to live your life. Do not let depression get to you, ladies and gentlemen. Do not, okay? Now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Tom Hanks. So Tom Hanks stirred the pot as he stepped into character for SNL's 50th anniversary special, but his portrayal of a Trump supporter didn't land well across the board. So apparently, the Oscar winner took on the MAGA hat wearing role of Doug in a Black Jeopardy skit where his character preached the world would be better if more people went to church. So when game show host Darnell Hayes, Kenan Thompson, went in for a handshake, Doug pulled back saying, "Don't like that, whoa, whoa, whoa." So clearly Doug was the butt of the joke in the skit with the audience cracking up, but Trump supporters online were not having it, calling it a tired and disgusting trope. So the outcry also hit that classic MAGA nerve, with many blasting Hollywood stars for getting political, calling them out of touch, elites who need to stay in their lane. Okay, so this isn't Hanks's first rodeo. He first played the conservative character back in 2016, just before Trump's first term win, and the skit was pretty popular at the time. Alright, so this is very wild how now a lot of people are not okay with the fact that now Tom Hanks is once again playing a Trump supporter. But this just comes to show that now we live in the times where a lot of people unfortunately are supporting Trump and they're defending Trump. I think that even though you're supporting Trump and you are there for Trump, you shouldn't be going after somebody that is portraying a Trump supporter on SNL and is only having a little fun portraying it. Like, it's only an SNL skit at the end of the day. You can't be taking it too serious. You can't be too sensitive about it after all. Like, come on. Like, y'all really think that by a whole entire skit, it's the end of the world and Trump is going to be in so much trouble and Trump is already, I don't know, into so much danger? No, it's simply an SNL skit. It's a joke about somebody being a Trump supporter. It's that simple, you guys. I think that jokes need to be taken more lightly nowadays instead of being it taken seriously. And come on now, it's not like the whole entire skit was like completely defaming Trump after all. I mean, so there's also that, so we really feel so, I don't know, like we are the judges here. Like we are like the ones that have the right to be judging. Like we have the right to be going off and to be bashing other people for their own political differences. And that we have the right to be bashing other people for their own political views. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. We need to be more loose and we need to let people, be the way they're being, I mean, as long as they're not doing anything to hurt our nation and as long as they're not siding with anything ridiculous from what this man has been doing, then I mean, it's all Gucci. But I mean, as long as, we're just making jokes and we're having fun and we're enjoying SNL, I don't think that there should be an issue with anything at all. So, and plus it's SNL after all. I'm sure that everybody should already know by now that SNL is meant to be that type of show that has no filter and that has nothing but jokes in it and that has nothing but fun in it, and it's all a bunch of entertainment after all, especially because the show has been around for the past 50 years. Okay, so y'all are nothing but a pile of poo for being so ridiculous and so rude and for going after poor Tom Hanks at the end of the day. Let Tom Hanks be the way he is, and that is all I have to say about this, okay? Now that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.